my goodness, I am on top of the world this week. Just yesterday, we kicked off day one of our free first year teacher support video series, and student teachers have already been flooding my inbox with positive messages. If one of those messages was from you, please know it meant more to me than you could ever imagine. If you've never messaged me before, I reply to every single DM and email that I get, and I always reply within 24 hours. That was a teaching tip I learned early on in my teaching career that I have always carried with me. Whether it was the nicest email from a parent, a reminder, or one of those messages we never want to get, I always made it a priority to reply within 24 hours. During your first year of teaching, that first positive email you get from a parent is going to make all of those challenges worth it. It's indescribable to try and explain the feeling of being appreciated, but there will come a day when you receive that email and you are going to feel on top of the world. But there's also going to come a day when you receive an email that makes your palms sweaty and even might make your blood boil. When you do receive one of those messages, give it some time before you reply and never respond out of spite or anger. I know every single one of you listening today has the best intentions, but there will come a day when you want to reply back with how you feel. But as a teacher, we cannot do that. Instead, just like a hot potato, let the email rest for a bit. If you're ever in doubt about the way you're replying, consult your teaching partner, your administration, or someone you trust. Just have them read it over and see what they think before sending it on. And I mean, if you're really in desperate times, send the email on over to me and I'll check it out for you as well. As a teacher, we always need to be sure that we are staying accountable for our actions. Plus, all of our emails are public records, so there's that too. Anyway, the real reason we're here today is so that I can share with you everything that's happening this week. If you haven't already done so, you need to go watch day 1 and day 2 of our free first year teacher support video series. Yesterday, we kicked things off with staying true to who you are as a teacher. Within that video, I shared all of the things that you can do to be sure that you do not lose yourself during your first year of teaching. If reading is your jam, hiking fuels your soul, or singing karaoke on a Friday night rocks your world, I want you to continue making all of those things a priority during your first year of teaching. Yesterday, a student teacher reached out to me and told me how appreciative she was for the workbook that came along with our video series, because she didn't realize how easy it would be for her to forget all of her favorite hobbies and interests once she began teaching in the fall. And that, my friend, is why I'm here sharing this with you today. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You're full of love, life, energy, and passion. Your friends and family adore you and they love spending time with you. I just want to be sure that when you kick off your first year of teaching, that you're able to remember all of the amazing traits that make you who you are and that you do not lose them in the midst of it all. On day 2, which is today, by the way, our video series is covering building the right relationships with parents. Now, full disclosure, when I was hyping up this video series, I said that I was going to share with you how I referred to parents as a teacher. But when I was editing the video, I realized I forgot to mention it. So, to my 100 true fans who are listening to this podcast today, you're in for a bonus treat, because when you become teaching, you'll realize very quickly that many students come from broken homes, live in single-parent households, are in foster care, live with auntie or grandma. The list goes on and on. In my personal opinion, a parent is anyone who has the role as a caregiver, but according to the dictionary, a parent is a mother or a father. Biological, adopted, fostered, there are going to be many caregivers that you encounter as a teacher. So when we address these caregivers, it's important that we are being inclusive. To do this, instead of saying to your class, make sure that your mom and dad sign this tonight, you might instead say, make sure you have your grown-up sign this tonight. By using the term grown-up, we are referring to anyone who is 18 plus in their household. But honestly, in some situations, their grown-up might be their 16-year-old brother or sister who takes care of them because mommy and daddy work the night shift. Eventually, you're going to have students who have deceased parents, parents who are incarcerated, parents who are in and out of the picture every single day. So I just want to remind you to be highly sensitive when making announcements about these grown-ups to your class. And while we're on this topic, I also want to remind you to be aware of your students' backgrounds when it comes to making gifts for Mother's Day and Father's Day. When teaching younger grades, this is always something that's fun to do, so just be sure you're encouraging your students that it's okay to make a Mother's Day gift for any motherly figure in their life, such as their sister, their aunt, their grandma, or whoever is a role model to them. All right, back to the video series. I don't want to spoil too much because, of course, I want you to tune into the video series, but on today's video of building the right relationship with parents, I take a deep dive into the steps that you can take to ensure you build the right relationship with parents from day one, which will make everything about the school year go so much better. On day 3, I'll be sharing about systems and processes that you can put into place to ensure that you're able to continue making time for your personal life while also ensuring that you're a rock star teacher who can handle anything that comes your way. Day 4 is another good one. On day 4, I share about prepping for your interview, what to do before you interview to be sure you're prepared and feeling confident, and I even share a list of the top 10 most asked questions during an interview. You will definitely want to tune into day 4's video if you're prepping for an upcoming interview yourself. And okay, here's the most exciting part. Day 5 is actually happening over a series of 4 days. Video 5 is a live webinar that I'm going to be hosting over Zoom. Because it's happening live, and I realize you all have personal lives, there are 4 options for you to join in. This webinar is going to be all about thriving during your first week of teaching. So many teachers have asked me, how can I set myself up to be sure that I survive my first week? And I just keep telling them, I don't want you to just be able to survive your first week. I want you to thrive during your first week so that you can go into week 2 feeling confident, prepared, and excited for another week with your new besties. So here's my question for you. Which date works better for you to tune into our live webinar? Friday, March 19th at 7 p.m., Saturday, March 20th at 10:30 a.m., Sunday, March 21st at 1 p.m., or Monday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Now keep in mind, all of these are happening in Central Time, where North Dakota is located. But here's the deal. If time zones aren't your jam, I'm going to break it down for you. On Friday, March 19th, this live webinar is happening at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, March 20th, you can tune in at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, or 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Sunday, March 21st, you can tune in at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 noon Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And your last opportunity to join us live for our Thriving Teacher webinar is Monday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So now you know all of the times. You have 4 options. So once again, my question to you is, which one will work better for you? If you're hyped up and you're ready to learn how to thrive as a first-year teacher, head to ndteaching.com/webinar so that we can hang out on Zoom this weekend. At the end of this Zoom call, I'm going to be hosting a live Q&A, so come prepared, ask me your deepest, darkest teaching questions. I will do my best to answer anything you throw at me, and I just want you to know the reason why I'm doing this is so that you truly can thrive during your first year of teaching. And with that, I just have to say this has already been the best week ever. But once again, I also want to say thank you so much for being here, for allowing me to share my passion with you. And of course, if you need anything at all, you know where to find me. But just in case you don't know where to find me, head to Instagram and search North Dakota Teaching. And with that, I'll see you this weekend on Zoom.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the North Dakota Teaching Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate that effort. Be sure to tune in to the next episode for more teaching tips to make an impact. Until next time.